When you master the art of 3-second selling, anything is possible.
All right, so now without further ado, go ahead, Dave.
Is it fun to be Mel Gibson? I mean, what's that like these days? Is it fraught with peril? Is it a blast?
It's probably not as exciting as most people would imagine.
The whole thing is, in the alliances that you make, and I must say though, I feel mighty good about it. The last time we talked was League of Their Own, right? And that and the movies that I've done since then, I think have been I've been blessed with a lot of variety there, and I think we've done a pretty good job.
Magazine said that you can't even keep up with yourself in your career at this point, let alone your fans. I mean, what's your take on that? Do you feel like life is moving fast for you?
It's out of control. Yeah. Totally. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
No problem with that.
No, I basically, roll out of bed and like a fireman. Okay, where we go? Let's touch Jesus, let's go. It's just, it's pretty wild.
So what you're seeing there was really the birth of 3-second selling. It's where my concept kind of first came to mind. These are people who deliver lines for a living, right? They follow a script. So the idea behind 3-second selling is that you take people off their script. You try to create the groundwork for an authentic, and I lost my screen, didn't I? Went to sleep fast. Try to create the groundwork for an authentic, original engagement. There we go. So how do you do that? Well, there's something that's happening here that we need to be very aware of. It's something that I discovered with Malcolm Gladwell in the book Blink, if any of you have ever read it. And that is that a good portion, Malcolm Gladwell calls it thin slicing. I have some more language for it. But about 93% of what somebody thinks of us, our ideas, our company, our website, is determined within the first 3 seconds. Now, what do you do with that? That's a pretty daunting thing when you realize that either internally or externally, somebody is making some very, very quick judgments about you in very short periods of time. Because I've had access to a lot of recruiters and staffing people, HR people through Staffing Talk, I would ask people like you, and I say, okay, does this resonate? Does this make sense? Is this true? Do people really have you at hello, or do you lose them at hello? And they said, no, it's happening all the time, even if we're not aware of it. So why does it matter? Because we're always selling ourselves, regardless of what it is that we do for a living, regardless of what's on our job, our job title and our job description in our business card. We all have to sell ourselves every day, all day long. Now, that could be with a formal sales presentation. It could be with a potential new client. It could be with your boss in the conference room. It could be a job interview that you're on either side of that. We all, work for a living. So maybe you're interviewing for a job, or more likely you're interviewing someone else for a job. We all are in that position of having to sell. One of my original targets for 3-second selling was professional service providers, lawyers, accountants, people who have to build a practice, people who have to bring in business as part of their requirements every year, but probably have never been trained to sell, probably never even had a class about it, don't like traditional sales training, don't find it effective, don't like to be sold to themselves, don't like the idea of being a salesperson. I'm a CPA, I'm a lawyer, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm not a salesperson. But unless you know another way to build a practice, then yes, we all have to be salesperson. So the idea, or salespeople, the idea is that we're trying to do what I was doing with those actors and actresses in 3-second selling. What we're trying to do is, I was trying to immediately pique the curiosity and arouse the brain of Tom Hanks and Mel Gibson and Gina Davis and those people. Let them know that they were going to have to put down their script. That for at least the next 5 minutes, they didn't know what was coming next. My first question was not going to be, what attracted you to this movie? What was it like to work with Bob Zemeckis? Do you like the movie? Are you excited about it? What's your next project? None of those things were going to come out of my mouth. Instead, it was going to be, are you a fun person to have coffee with? It was asking Tom Hanks, trace the line from Joe versus the volcano and Volunteers and Turner and Hooch to Philadelphia. Trying to get them, people who deliver lines for a living, to have an authentic, original engagement with me. So 3-second selling is a 3-part process that allows us to be someone people know, like, and trust. Anyone, why is that important? Why do we want to be someone people know, like, and trust? Because What was that?
People buy what they need from who they like.
Yes, exactly. To create a buying connection, because that's who we do business with. We do business with people we know, like, and trust. And it could be literal or it could be figurative. Okay, so what's the first tenet of 3-second selling? Is knowing yourself. What's your unique value proposition? What am I bringing to this engagement that's unique about me? Second tenet of 3-second selling is knowing your audience. Know who is across from you. Is it an HR person? Is it a marketing type? What kind of job are you interviewing for? On both sides of that table, either you personally or doing the interviewing for. What, is it a marketing position? Is it an IT position? And let that inform the first words out of your mouth. Again, let that inform how you look, how you act, how you dress. Third tenet of 3-second selling is knowing what it is that you want from the engagement. Again, it's not trying to put a script in place that you follow or that you read, but it's about hitting that pause button. We're constantly distracted and distracting ourselves. So know what you want. Think about that beforehand. Every email, every phone call, I just encourage you to spend a moment and think about those 3 tenets. What it is that you bring to the engagement, knowing your audience, who it is on the other side of that engagement, and the third piece is knowing what you want, being deliberate, being planful, mindful about the outcome. So that's 3-second selling. It's been great being in the audience previous, and it's been great being up here. Thank you, and I'll open up to questions.
When you master the art of 3-second selling, anything is possible.